back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a first impressions review slash tutorial on a couple of items I've gotten recently. Some of them I've gotten in subscription boxes and a couple of them I actually did purchase. So if you're interested in seeing what all I tried out today to get this look and my thoughts on the items, please continue to watch. First thing that we're going to do is the eyeshadow, and I did already go ahead and put a little bit of ColourPop concealer on my eyelids as a primer and to help hide some of the discoloration and veining there, which is just a normal step I do, especially when doing an all matte look. And for the eyeshadow, of course, we're going to use the Dose of Colors Baked Browns. Comes with a little brush, which we're going to try out as well. And there's the colors in that. So I think that we're going to go ahead and use all of the shades and just do a kind of a matte smoky eye type of look is what I'm thinking. So I'm first going to take the very first shade, the bone color there, and put that all over just to kind of sit down that concealer. Kind of move in order because it makes sense. So then we're going to take the second shade for the transition. Just going to use a big fluffy blending brush for that. It's kind of powdery, so you have some dusty powderiness going on there. It really doesn't bother me personally as long as the shadows perform well, so we'll see. We're just taking this up pretty high, back and forth like you normally would a transition. Third shade in another blending brush that's just a little more precise on the end, and go right below that shade. Take the fourth shade with the very small blending brush. That's the more red tone brown here. And we're going to focus that in the crease, but just above the outer corner only here. Shade, we're going to put that in the outer corner. It on. And I'm going to take and just go over the edge of that. I'm going to go back with the very first bone shade here and pack that on the lid with the flat shader brush. So I'm just going to take that small brush and kind of tap between the two here where the white did get onto the brown a little bit. No additional product on this brush, just simply tap in between the two here. So now that that part's done, guys, I'm going to go ahead and clean up here a bit, and I'll be right back. And the next thing I am very excited to try, and I got the mini version just because it is so expensive. The mini is $22 and it's only 0.24 ounces, but I've heard so much rave about it. I've been wanting to give it a try for so long, so I went ahead and put it in my cart with my last Sephora order. Here's what the inside looks like. And it is the Tatcha Silk Canvas Filter Finish Protective Primer is what they call it. And so you just run your finger across the top here to get a little bit. I've seen some people say if you put too much, it could cause issues like with your foundation slipping. So I'm just going to take a little bit at a time and put that in my more so problem areas here, in my T-zone and on my cheeks. And maybe a little on the chin. Feel like it helped blur the pores, especially through here where I have the most of mine. I mean, they're not invisible, but they do definitely feel blurred, and my skin feels like I said, it's pretty silky, like baby soft. So I'm going to go ahead now and just apply my regular foundation since I don't have a new one to try today, and then we'll come back and we'll be trying out the Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer. Alright guys, so now that I have the foundation on, we're going to go ahead and try out the concealer, and I want to read some of the claims it has here. It says it's full coverage, cover more, cake less. This full coverage liquid concealer hides it all, from dark under eye circles to blemishes and discoloration, yet feels lightweight and doesn't cake or crack. It says it's 24-hour long wear, waterproof. It says as a cushion tip for smooth application and blends seamlessly. On this you get 5 milliliters, and I believe I paid $22 for it. It's the full size, so I think it was $22. I'll link it below though, just in case. So what I'm going to do is just apply it like I normally would any other concealer. Under my eye, down my nose, a little bit on the middle of the forehead, and then a little bit on the chin. And I did get mine in number 1. Which was the lightest shade they had. As you can tell, I'm pretty pale. No sunless tanner on right now. Use the doe foot on that. I'm going to start there because I don't want to put too much since I've never used it before. concealer, here's without the concealer. What do you guys think? See, it definitely did cover. Still see a little bit of darkness right here, which is where most of mine usually is anyhow. But it definitely did help brighten it and cover up a lot of it. So let's go ahead and do the other side. Put it on my nose, and for me, I put it all over my nose when I blend it, just because I get a lot of redness on my nose. And here's with one layer on all of the concealed spots, guys. I think that I am going to try to put just a little more through here. See if we could get that to cover a little better. Helped quite a bit, so not seeing as much of the darkness as I was. Of course, it's still a little puffy. That's just, concealer is not going to make it go away unless there's some type of skincare ingredient in there that's supposed to help. But for the darkness, I do think the second layer for me helped cover it up, because the mine are pretty bad, especially because it is early in the morning right now. I just got up and took a shower and came in here to film, so I'm going to go ahead and just set it now with my Cover FX powder that I always use. First, blend it out just to make sure there's no creases there that I'm actually setting. And as of right now, before setting, there aren't any cracks or creases that I see, and I do have the fine lines that usually do that. So far, so good. Be reacting well with the powder. Alright guys, now that I have everything set down, I'm going to go ahead and put on some bronzer and brows, and then we'll come back and try out the blush that I have to try. Okay, so now we are going to try this Betty Boop blush palette. Got this in an Ipsy this month. I've never seen this collection until then. And what we're going to do is take the matte shade in the palette, which is the very last blush here. This one's called Euro Peach, is the name of the shade of the palette, I believe. It's pretty nice. It's not too pigmented where it's too much all at once. And this is my type of shade. I don't like them too bright of a pink. I like a more mauve or peachy pink shade, so I will definitely be getting use out of this. I do really like that. Now we're going to go ahead and finish up the eyes. And the first thing I'm going to do is just go back over with our transition shade, the second shade in the palette, and just brush over all of the edges here. We're not taking too much of it at all, just a little smidge to kind of blend over everything. And me personally, I like my white or the bone shade to be a little brighter, so I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of that, but make sure to tap off all the excess so we don't get fallout since we've already done our face. Go in with the darkest shade on a flat liner brush and just put that on the lower lash line, only on the outer corner. So just right below where we have the darkest shade on the top. Take that second shade again and blend that on the lower lash line, and we're going to use the little brush that came in the palette for this, and we're going to use the fluffier side. Again, make sure to tap all of that powder off. Just go right under the lash line here, including under the dark shade, and just blend that into here where it all meets up. My highlighter and setting spray, and then we'll come back to try out the mascara. Okay, so next we have the Too Faced Damn Girl mascara, and I got a little sample size of this with my Sephora order, so I thought we could try it out on camera. I've been wanting to try it, and the claims on this one are that it's for shamelessly thick and curled lashes. 97% said they saw full-on volume, 100% said they saw intense black lashes, 99% said they saw long-wearing results, and 95% said they saw long-lasting curl. Claims to be a 24-hour mascara. Says Damn Girl's revolutionary creamy mousse formula was developed with a special blend of whipping melting waxes that deliver an immediate full load of extreme volume without a heavy feel. Innovative polymers keep lashes flexible while lifting, lengthening, and locking in 24 hours of smudge and flake-resistant curl. Our exclusive dual fiber infinity brush was engineered to hug, lift, and curl each lash. Short bristles load the formula for immediate release, and long bristles comb through to dispense product evenly for shocking volume, outrageous curl, and shamelessly thicker lashes. Damn girl, you look good. Okay, well, let's see if all of those claims are for real. And I apologize ahead of time for the awkward mascara face, but I'm pretty sure 99% of us have one of those. Wow, that's a really fat brush. To use 2 for those results. So we're going to go in another dip here and see what we get. It does thicken them and give them curl. The only thing that I'm seeing that I don't really care for is how it kind of clumps them together. I prefer them to be a little more separated, but other than that, it's looking good so far. I'm a little nervous to put it on the bottom because the wand is so big, but we'll give it a go. Surprised that I didn't get a lot of the mascara on the bottom lash line because it is so big, but it worked really well for that too. Here's a before and after for you. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. On this side I did get a little bit on the lower lash line, so I'm just gonna take this brush and kind of blend over. I'm gonna pop on some of the iconic London Plumping Gloss in Nearly Nude. Recently got this as well, but I have used it before, so it's not necessarily a first impressions, but I do really enjoy it. And even though it's plumping, it's not one of those that burns your lips. Alright guys, that is it for this first impression slash tutorial. Overall, my thoughts on everything were good. I really enjoy the primer so far. It does really help blur the pores. It makes your skin look a lot smoother and helps even with the texture coming through after applying the foundation. So I definitely am enjoying that. I don't know if I'll go out and buy the big one. I have to keep using this. I probably won't have that decision made until I've used this quite a few more times because it is so pricey. And there is an e.l.f. one that everyone says is a dupe. I haven't been able to get my hands on it, but I'm definitely going to try that too after trying this. And the eyeshadow is really great. It blends well. It's very pigmented. No problems with patchiness or anything like that. The only downfall is the kickback you get. Here's what the palette looks like after what we just used today. But it didn't have any effect on the use of the product. So it's a little bit of an inconvenience, but it's not something that's going to deter me from wanting to try others. I've been wanting to try these for quite some time, so I was very happy to get it in a recent BoxyCharm. And the trick to things like that are just do your eyes first, which I usually do anyway. So that way you don't risk ruining the rest of your makeup with the fallout. The concealer I really like. My under eyes are a lot smoother than they usually are. Even with like Tarte Shape Tape and some of my other favorites that I use on the regular, I do get creasing very quickly because I have fine lines under my eyes, and I also get that cakiness because I have drier skin, especially when it turns cooler like right now in the fall time and especially in the winter. So I look forward to using this and hoping that this winter I don't have that big of a problem like I usually do. And the blush, it's good. I mean, no complaints on it. I don't know if it's gonna wear very long. I am used to using the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes because they last so long and I love them. So I don't know if this will last quite as long, but we'll see. Other than that, the color is pretty. The more shimmery blushes here, I probably won't get use out of anytime soon. Usually that's something I would only use more so in the summertime for like a glowy look. But I will leave in the description too, guys. I'm going to wear it all day. I need to go to the nail shop. I have some other things to do. So I will leave in the description below how things wore. And then the last thing that we tried was the Damn Girl Mascara by Too Faced. And I do really like it. It does definitely thicken your lashes. Mine are very thin, just like my hair. So I do feel they're a lot thicker. And it helped with the curl. The only thing that I don't see is it didn't give quite as much length as some of my other mascaras do, but other than that it was great. And I was really worried with the wand that underneath I would get a lot on the lower lash line, but I didn't get that much at all, just your normal amount, and just took my brush after it dried and scraped off the little dots that I did get. So we will see how it holds up too. It has the claim of the 24 hours, so I'll leave it down in the description. Just make sure you check that out if you want to see how the things wore throughout the day. And if you enjoy these type of videos, guys, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe before you leave and turn on that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Bye.